Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video, I am going to talk about a few things. I am going to rant about bigotry because I've really had enough of Christian bigots. As I stated in my last video, I don't understand them. I don't understand why somebody would be hating Jews when they want to basically suck the dick of Jesus, who was a Jew. But it doesn't matter to me the reason for their prejudice, racism, bigotry, however you want to term it. It doesn't matter to me. The fact that they're ignorant, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the Occult Think Tank is concerned, they can fuck right off. I have zero time for bigots. I like this quote. I found this, and it's something that I wanted to share. The sad truth about bigotry is that most bigots either don't realize that they are bigots, or they convince themselves that their bigotry is perfectly justified, which it's not. But the ignorance of people never ceases to amaze me, especially the religious. What also infuriates me is how so many Christians want to spout this bullshit of Jesus being about unconditional love. I found this picture and I quickly crossed out the un, because, as I pointed out, John 3:16 and 18 is a condition. Saying whosoever believeth is a condition. You cannot say that you love unconditionally and then turn around and put in a massive fucking condition. That just shows how stupid Jesus is, and how stupid anyone that buys into this is. Here is another one that I found. Is God's love unconditional? Hell no. Not if you're going by the Bible. Because there is a massive fucking condition put on it. If this God loves unconditionally, then it would love regardless of what you do or what you believe. It is just ignorant as hell to act as if something unconditional can come with a massive fucking condition. The thing is, the truth of the matter is, you can't force love. If the God of the Bible, or if a God would want people to love it, then number one, it can't demand that they love it. That would no more work than going up to somebody and saying, love me, would work. Most people, you do that and they don't know you, they would laugh in your face. And most likely be, fuck off. I don't know you. I certainly don't love you. And I'm not going to. And the more you demand it, as if you are owed, the less likely you are to get it. It also reminds me of the idea of the plagues in Egypt, that the God kept hardening Pharaoh's heart, and I equate it to kicking a guy in the nuts and being, love me. And after they get done writhing on the ground, it would be, fuck you. And then you kick them in the nuts again. No matter how many times you kick them in the nuts, they're not going to be, oh, now I love you. Because what you're doing is counterproductive for what you're claiming you want. I do not understand how Christians can't wrap their brain around this. I realize that there are abusive Christian males that think they have the right to slap around their wife because of their stupid religious ideas. It doesn't make it love. It doesn't make it good. It really, I find it utterly disgusting that people could go along with stupid fucking ideas like that. I also would like to get back to doing interviews with Mark Powers, because I really enjoyed the interviews with him and talking to him and hearing things from the Jewish perspective, which is one reason why I will tear into any bigot that wants to try and attack Jewish people just because they're Jews. I will not tolerate that type of ignorance from anybody. That is not what the Occult Think Tank is about. That is not what I am about. What I am interested in is having conversations with people and exploring various topics. Your bigotry and your hate, I have no time for. I have no interest in it. The idea of unconditional love is something that I would like to explore in more depth, because if a God would exist and would love unconditionally, then my disbelief, or a person's disbelief, in man-made God concepts should not matter. If anything, if a God would exist and what we see from Christians is the bigotry and hate, like the Westboro Baptists do and their stupid shit, if a God would exist and would be unconditionally loving, I still feel it would look at that and be, what the fuck are you doing? Not that it wouldn't still love those people. I'm sure if it is unconditionally loving, it would. It just would not love how they're behaving. And if there would be there would have to be a way that a God would be able to correct somebody without torturing them. I don't agree with torture for any reason. It teaches nothing. Torture changes nothing. It proves nothing. All it shows is that the one doing the torture is as sick and evil as those they're torturing. If those they are torturing were people like the Westboro Baptists or a Hitler or whatnot, I don't go along with the idea of lumping a whole group into one pot. I look rather at what individuals do. But when you have groups like the Westboro Baptists that appear to all be touting the same banner, it becomes very easy to lump them all together, because they're all spouting the same ignorant shit, just like the bigots that I've dealt with on BitChute. And one of the things I find rather interesting is the video I did where I pretty much called out the bigotry on BitChute. It's still being processed. This is something, at least on BitChute, they need to address their bigot audience, because they don't let me be able to block somebody, which is something that I feel is wrong, and I should be able, as well as anybody, any creator, if somebody is going to be posting racist or bigoted or prejudice type of comments, they need to be able to not only be blocked but reported, because there's There's no place for that. If you want to have a discussion about a group or about something a group stands for, by all means, let's have that discussion. But just trying to do an Archie Bunker and lump all of one culture or race or whatnot into the same pot, you're showing me how ignorant you are. And I have zero time for that type of stupidity. I'm not about trying to kiss anyone's ass. That's simply not what I'm about. I can and do point out massive problems I have with the character of Jesus. And I say the term character because I am not convinced that there was an actual Jesus, at least not from what we have seen with the Bible, because there is no non-religious based evidence for that particular figure. But even if that particular figure existed, based on what is in the Bible, it would be someone that I would definitely oppose because of the things that he said. And I know Christians want to try and ignore the nasty bits and only see the nice, sweet, and loving. I don't do that. I look at the whole picture. I look at everything that was said, not just the parts that may seem nice and sweet. I will focus more on the nasty and vile because, truth be told, the Christians won't acknowledge that. They won't tell you about it. So I feel somebody has to wake people up to what the actual message of Jesus was. And when you're having somebody that is telling a story or a parable and it involves essentially saying, those of mine enemies that would not that I should reign over them, bring them to me and slay them before me. That type of thing needs to be addressed, and that is what Jesus had said. I can show that in another video. I am going to be doing a video on some of the very nasty shit that Jesus actually said, if you believe the Bible. Again, I am not entirely sold on if the Bible is an accurate representation of what a Jesus, if there was such a being, would have actually said, because the Bible we have today has been changed and rewritten so much that there's no way to know what was actually there and what wasn't. So for anyone to get dogmatic of this is written in this place and so forth, I don't see where that is a valid argument, because for all you know, that was added by somebody else after the fact. Just like I had said in the video where I had said if I would encounter a God, there is no reason to believe that a God wouldn't tear you a new asshole for trying to assert the Bible. And I would expect it to distance itself from the Bible very quickly, because that book is extremely problematic, given all of the things it openly endorses. that are not loving. And if a God would be all about love of everyone, universally, unconditionally, then the tribalism and ideas of the Bible would have to be something that it would distance itself from. I'm not saying that I believe a God exists. I don't. I would need evidence to support that hypothesis. But, and as I have said in other videos, if it would matter to a God, my disbelief, then number one, it would know what it would take to convince me. And if it doesn't do it, then I have to conclude either it doesn't give a fuck or it doesn't exist. Either way, without evidence, I'm under no obligation to buy into the bullshit. And the more Christians want to act as if they want to suck Jesus's dick, that's not going to convince me to buy into anything. I don't care. Your sycophantic groveling does not win you any points. All it does for someone like me is turn me off and make me more repulsed by the rhetoric, especially when what I'm seeing from so many is nothing but bigotry, ignorance, hate. I have no interest and no time for those type of people. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Talk to you later, people.